Yo, what's cracking? What's cracking? All right, we got Boise State and Penn State this evening. Right now, we got Baylor and LSU playing. Baylor is losing right now, 24-34 with 10-point game. With LSU uh, on the 35, look like. All right, 35, trying to march down the field. Um, man, interception, interception. Baylor got an interception right now. Wow. See, I'm pulling for Baylor, man, because man, I don't want no SEC team to win. None, done. And yes, sir. Yes, sir. Alabama lost. Should had they have been in the playoffs, I'll wait. I'll wait. All these folks, ESPN analysts, were saying that they should have been in the playoffs, or all these SEC teams should have been in the playoffs. No, sir. No, sir. Right now, the Big Ten is dominating right now. Big Ten and they're dominating. Big Ten is dominating on all phases. I mean, you got USC who just beat Texas A&M. You have Penn State, Mollywop, Tennessee, right? Um, who else? You had Arkansas won, but I mean they beat Texas Tech. I mean Texas Tech didn't have none of their starters in at all, but it is what it is. But Alabama had some of their starters in. They had their main starter, which was their quarterback. So I'm looking at it like that. Uh, but man, I'm glad the Alabama fans got shut up today. Yes, sir. You know, I mean, like I said, I got a daughter that goes there. She's in the marching band, and I know she's on that trip. But man, I can't stand Alabama, and I can't stand the fans. They are irritating. They're the worstest fans ever, bro. Like, you just want to like punch them in the face sometimes, right? When they're talking to you, man, because it's like they act like they never lose, and that's not true. They was on a 20-year losing streak before Nick Saban got there. Um, and I remember when they had Shula. Shula, he was okay, but he wasn't getting them over the hump to where they wanted to be in national championship contention. Then they had a 6-6 season when losing to the University of Louisiana Monroe. Alabama did. And then they turned around and lose to a Mountain West team, which was Utah, right? So, and then they went on and won a national championship. Oh my God, Baylor, what are they doing? They are stinking up the joint. They are back. Oh my God. The dude, the center, I don't know who the center is, but he need to be sit on the bench. Oh my God. He just messed up. Oh my God. They are all the way back to like the 40, almost 50-yard line because the center fucked up. That's what he did. Anyway, let me go here real quick. I just want to say, man, I'm just so excited about them losing. I want LA. I'm pulling for Baylor. Baylor. I am pulling for Baylor. Baylor's giving a fight back. LSU was you know getting in it behind, but LSU Baylor was moving the ball pretty well earlier in the game. It just they were doing dumb mistakes, man. They got to be disciplined. That's really Baylor's problem. They're not disciplined. If Baylor will be disciplined, Baylor could have been a 10, 11 win season team this year. That's real. because they're actually physical. They just wasn't disciplined, man, and that's why they lost some games. Even with Colorado, and they just wasn't disciplined. I've seen several games in the Big 12 where Baylor could have won them, and I know they was calling for the coaches firing, but man, Baylor should have been at least a 10 to a 11 win team this season. They just made some minor and crucial mistakes. Let me go here. Let's go to the scores. All right, as you see, Alabama loses to Michigan. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm so happy about that. Yes, sir. Um, oh, Louisville wins a close one, 35-34. But hey, man, I knew it was going to be either or, man, but I was pulling for Washington on this one. But man, I am so glad. I don't give a fuck. I'm glad that Alabama lost. I'm so tired of Alabama fans. For real. What was the and they had it, they put in it's hard to say his name without laughing. Orgy. Oh my God. And he gave an orgy today, I guess. Because hey man, Warren got hurt. He got injured, had to go on the sideline, and Milrose came in and stunk up the joint for real. He threw for 192 yards, one INT, but he got sacked quite a few times, slipped and fell a few times, things like that. Man, uh, Marshall, he ran for 100 from Michigan. Scott ran for 28 yards, 29 yards. Yeah, 28 yards. And then Bernard for 80 yards. And Monroe for 37. Oh, I don't know why my eyes are doing that. All right. One tutty. I'm just excited that Alabama lost. All right. But let's go back to the scores. They got to beat down the defense. Michigan defense was able to hold. They was popping in that game. Alabama and Michigan, they were hitting in that game. And you know, Michigan came out on top without a quarterback. Hey, but that's not their first time doing that. Michigan with Orgy, that's not their first time. So LSU is on a 30-something, threatening to get in the red zone. Anyway, but I'm happy about that loss. Louisville, Washington, 35-34. Illinois is up 21-17 on South Carolina. South Carolina got the ball. They have a 1st and 10. They are approaching the red zone. Yep, they are approaching the red zone right now, threatening to score and put this game ahead. So we'll see. I never seen a guy who played with glasses though, but the kid Sellers, he plays with goggles. So it's kind of odd watching them play with those goggles like that. They need to update this. Yeah, there you go. It's an update. So right now, that's all the scores. And I want to go into this Penn State matchup. that's playing this evening. Who else plays this evening? Is that it? I think it's just Penn State, right? And Boise, right? Then the rest of the games play tomorrow. Uh, Let me move out of this. All right. So I want to go into the Boise game. Where is it? Boise. Where's the matchup? Did I pass it? Maybe it's at the top. Here, no, that's Penn State. Here we go, up top. So let's go to the game cast. All right. I think this is going to be an upset. I think this game right here is going to be an upset, and and this is the reason why. Um, I think Boise State is real physical as well, man. With them weeks off and with Ashton Genty being very upset about not getting a Heisman, it's more than the energy to bring to Penn State right now. I think that their team is going to work as a team to try to beat Penn State. It ain't going to be easy, but I think Boise State got the hogs and the firepower to be able to beat Penn State. Now, it just depends on who's coming to play and who's coming just to be there. I think Boise State is coming to play. And they're not getting no media coverage. They're not getting, all the accolades that some of the other schools are getting. And I think Boise State is going to come to prove a point that they can play with anybody, and they're not just a soft team coming from the Mountain West. I don't think all the teams from the Mountain West are soft. I think now it's about to be some parity in these next few years. I think because even when, like I said, Utah used to be in the Mountain West, and remember, they beat Alabama, and then Boise State, coming from the same conference that they're in, I remember them going down to Atlanta and beating Georgia Bulldogs. So Hawaii tried to do the same thing and they lost, and that was in the bowl game and they lost. But Georgia put them on this. I mean, Boise got put on Georgia's schedule, I believe. I think it on their schedule. First game of the season. It was something like that. I don't remember the whole details, but I do remember Boise beating Georgia, an SEC team. Okay. And they had just come off with 3 years of undefeated seasons in their conference. They were like North Dakota State, but they were like in the Mountain West. So I believe that Boise will win this game. I'm not saying they're going to dominate. I think it's going to be a close game, but I do think that Boise somehow finds a way to win this game. Let's see what the matchups is. See, they got Penn State pretty much beating the brakes off of them. Quarterback play, Allard, 3,021 yards, 21 touchdowns, 7 INTs. Now, Madsen, 2,700 yards, right? 22 touchdowns, 3 INTs. So he doesn't throw interceptions very often. So, dang, LSU looked like they just scored again. That defense is, man, it's not, it was the offense at first. Now it's that defense kind of, Mm, 40 to 20, 24 right now. Anyway, they really messed up. The center really messed them up. He really messed them up. Changed the whole momentum of the game. When he hiked that ball over the quarterback's head, man, that was a problem. Anyway, Singleton, the running backs, 928 yards, 9 touchdowns. Ashton Genty, 2,497 yards, 29 touchdowns. Oh, and Singleton had eight touchdowns. Wide receivers, man, they got a wide receiver with 1,095 yards. That's Warren, 6 touchdowns. And then Camper, like he has 837 yards, 4 touchdowns. So I think this is going to be two scrappy teams. And Boise is a physical team, man. People don't think that Boise is not physical and they're not deserving of being in the playoffs. And I think Boise, if Boise would have played Alabama today, they would have beat Bama. They would have. They would have beat Tennessee too. I really believe that. Right now, Big Ten is showing their dominance. Like, really. You know what I mean? Big Ten is showing it. And I know Georgia and Texas is still in the playoffs, but man, it is what it is. Hey, and I'm not for all these players quitting on their teams, man. Like Cam Ward, same thing, man. That was a sucker ass move, man. Like, I know these guys want to play halves and quarters, but you go to play the game. If you're not going to play, then sit the fuck out. Nobody wants to see you just go win some stats, man. Nobody cares about that. The fan base don't care. They want to see you play all the way through. And that was some sucker ass shit that Cam Ward did. And they want to fire the defensive coordinator because they lost the game or because of it wasn't just the defense. It was fucking Mario Cristobal. He should be fired. Miami coach should be fired. That was some bullshit that he pulled and allowed. You have to allow that. And then to make your second string quarterback or third string, wherever it is, and put him in, and he looked like he didn't know what the hell he was doing, and you put him in, and Martinez, I don't know if he faked the injury. Some people say he got his whatever record or yards, and then he got out the game. But he looked like he got hurt too on the play. I don't know. But to fire the defensive coordinator, to make that as the crutch to not fire Mario Cristobal, that's some bullshit. I hope that man faces Miami again on a different team and destroys Miami because that's some effect. Because it wasn't just him. It was the players too. It was the players not being disciplined on defense, not paying attention to their schemes, right? And allowing Iowa State to march down the field. It was what it was. Matter of fact, they who was that? They ended up scoring a touchdown, and then the quarterback couldn't hit the side of a barn. He couldn't. He couldn't make any throws. And I will say this: Mario Cristobal, if that was want to be the main quarterback, if Cam Ward wouldn't have came there, and that guy was the quarterback, they would have had another losing season. Another losing season would have got him fired. He should be fired now for allowing that to happen and not making the fan base happy with a win. I mean, you cheated yourself out of a win because you wanted Cam Ward to break a record. I would have fired you for that. I would if I was the athletic director, I would have got rid of you. I would have had your bags packing, fired you on the tarmac like Lane Kiffin. I would. That's unacceptable. And to hear some people were like, "Oh, that was okay for Cam Ward to do that." No, the hell it wasn't. That shows selfishness because you got 84 other players on that team who wanted to win, and this sucker ass dude did what he did. Talking about he was only gonna play the first half. Man, if you ain't just only gonna play the first half, don't play at all. I'd rather lose with Emory Williams than have you out there playing only a half just to stat pack so you can get in the NFL. Fuck that. I wouldn't do that, man. Hell no. You can get the fuck off my team. I wouldn't want you on my team for that. Anyway, man, let me go into I'm really frustrated with that Cam Ward shit, bro. I really am. That was some sucker ass shit. You allow Iowa State to just beat your team up, your teammates, everything like that, and just because you wanted some stats to make yourself look good for the NFL. You didn't want to get hurt. You soft as fuck, bro. Soft. I wouldn't want you on my team. I would not want that cat Cam Ward, and I supported that dude, man. And I wasn't a fan of Miami. I was a fan of him, you know? And to see him do that, that was some sucker shit. It was. Anyway, let's go back to Boise. I want to show y'all some highlights of Boise. Hold on. Let me show y'all some video of Boise. We go into this Boise State against Oregon. Okay, we're gonna do that. We're gonna go Boise State versus Oregon. All right. Stretch this out here. All right. So against Oregon, boom, they do a little pass out there. Defense was stout on them. Try to throw a little pass to the outside, like a little underneath. They end up kicking the field goal. Boise. They got a kicker, man. They got a kicker. Boise defense, that's what people are sleeping on too. Boise got a solid defense, even though they're probably going to get torched right here, which they did. But look, it was way like 5 minutes in the quarter, under 5 minutes when that happened. And then Oregon scores on them. Boise comes back in the second quarter, ready to threaten Ashton Genty. A few minutes later, Oregon. Gabriel gets sacked. They could bring pressure on Oregon. Oregon ends up shutting them down. They turn over the ball. They give the ball back to Oregon. Boise settles for a field goal. Special teams. All right, he got enough yards. Get him in good field position. Look like they're on a 30-something yard line. And Dylan Gabriel throws a bomb. He throws a bomb. 14-10. They sack. So they can bring pressure. Look at that. Boise will bring pressure, man. This was in the second quarter. Boom. Touchdown. So they can throw, man. Boise was up like 17. Mm, that was a nice pass. 17 to 14, 18 to 14. No, 17 to 14. Oh, it was 20. 20 to 14. So they were up on Oregon, man. You see what I'm saying? They got to clean that up. Then Oregon turns around, ties the game up. 2020. Look at that. They forced Boise State to punt. Man, they get some good yards out of this. Ooh, wee. Special teams. Oh my God. They're gonna score a touchdown off of that. Wow. They gotta clean that up. Hopefully Boise State has cleaned that up. Ooh, fumble. They got some hitters over there at Boise State. Look at that. Oh, Ashton Genty. Oregon could not stop the kid. They could not stop him. They could not stop him. Nobody this season has been able to stop this young man. And that line, no, 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 no. That offensive line moved, didn't it? That should have been a flag. Hold on. Pull that back. Oh no. That should have been a flag. And they were tied 27 to 27. Did they fumble the ball? That should have been flagged. That should have been a false start. Look at that. Boise. Look at that. Look at that. Touchdown. 34 to 27. They was up on the undefeated Oregon Ducks. Special teams saved Oregon, pretty much. It looked like special teams saved them. If it wasn't for special teams, they would have lost. Now it's tied 34 to 34 with 2 seconds left. And they kick a field goal. To win the game. Special teams saved their ass. That was it. Now, so I don't know why people are talking down on Boise, because Boise are the dudes. And they took number 1 Oregon to the end to make them. They had to win on special teams and kick a field goal to win the game. That's not good for, you know what I mean? That's not good. Now let's go to Penn State versus Oregon. This is in the Big Ten championship. Okay. All right. Let's go. Oregon attacks first, get the score. I watched this game. Penn State really, they were down quite a bit, I think, at first before they actually started getting their mojo. Yep. They were up 14-10. Wow. They were up 28-10 in the second quarter. You see what I'm saying? Before Penn State actually started coming alive. This crazy. Before Penn State started coming alive, with 1 minute 59 seconds, and then they was able to catch up a little bit. They caught up, made it a game. Oh, he was on top of the player. Yeah, he scored a touchdown. Yep. But you see the difference now. Boise State was able to control Oregon for the majority of that game. Okay. Then Oregon started, getting loose again in the third quarter. Then Penn State made a game of it. And that's why I'm thinking that, man, Boise State has got to be more disciplined on defense. I think that's their Achilles heel right now. That's their defense. They're going to have to be more disciplined with Penn State. Penn State finally scored again late in the game. Brought it close again. It was 38-30 in the fourth quarter. And Oregon, you know what they did. They do what Oregon does. It's hard to slow Oregon down. Nice run. I mean, he had a hole. He had to really wiggle himself through there, but he did his thing. Baylor is going to end up losing this game. They still got, it's 44-24 right now. Anyway, Oregon ended up having it 45-30. $37, 45-37, excuse me. With 1 minute to go. And then I think that's what sealed the deal. Doing oh no. They had one more. Was it the same play? Yeah, that sealed the deal again. Mm-hmm. Pretty much, yeah, that sealed the deal. And the game was over with. And just watching that game, those two, games, it's going to be a great matchup for Boise State to play Penn State. I just don't think they're going to be able to slow down Ashton Jeanty. And the way this young man got, he felt about his Heisman hopes and his team, how they feel about it, they want some of Penn State. They want some of them. You know what I mean? So I'm riding with Boise State on this game. I am. But I won't be shocked if Penn State wins. But I'm riding with Boise State on this game right here because I think Boise State, man, they deserve to be there. And I think they deserve, that should be a flag. I think Boise State is well deserving of being in the playoffs, man. And all these analysts from ESPN, they just want all SEC teams in and things like that. And they want the certain blue blood or blue chip teams in. They don't want some of the lower teams in. And it's just sad, man, to see. And they're trying to monopolize this thing. And, they only want certain teams in. And I'm going to tell you like this. The Big Ten and the Big 12 next season, I'm telling you, the Big 12 next season is going to be a powerhouse, bro. because they are so upset that that how they're being treated in that conference. And I'm telling you, man, Baylor may be struggling right now with LSU, but I'm telling you, man, they are not a team to quit. They're not. And the talent that they about to get in over there at Baylor next season and Texas Tech next season with the addition of the USC running back going to Texas Tech. Oh man, dude. And then you got to think about West Virginia with Rich Rod as well. Um, and then you got Coach Prime. And then, I mean, that conference is going to be stacked. And then you got BYU and possibly Iowa again and Kansas State again. And, that conference is going to be one of the monster conferences that, and, with Arizona State. And it's going to have a gauntlet of teams that's going to cannibalize themselves just like the SEC just did by adding Texas and Oklahoma. And don't sleep on Oklahoma because that's my other team. They are going to help cannibalize the SEC. They are. Because certain teams who were dominating are not going to be those dominant teams. You're already starting to see it now with Alabama. Alabama is not going to be the dominant team that they once was. I don't see it. Especially if they leave Jalen Monroe. I know a new quarterback is going to be coming into play, but there is a lot of teams that are going to be dominant in the SEC. So it's going to be a lot of teams, battling for spots. And Big 12 does not want to be left out this coming season. And I hope that Coach Prime and them, they get it together. I didn't like the way they lost against BYU. I felt like they were already on vacation, bro. I really, the way they played, they were already like checked out. And you got to want it, man. And I just didn't see it from them. I didn't see it from Shador. I didn't see it from a lot of the players, man. I did not see, Baylor just caught a pass from the 2-yard line. I'm still supportive of Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffs and all those players, as well as USC. Jaden Mayava, he did real good in this, showing against Texas A&M. He showed the will to win, and that's what I want to say, because people want to talk about bringing the kid from Tennessee to USC, but I think Jaden Mayava is better than him. I do. I think Jaden could. They're similar quarterbacks, but I think that Jaden Mayava, if he learns how to read his wide receivers a little bit more, I think he's actually a better quarterback than the kid from Tennessee. I'm just saying, he's got to go through his progressions and work with his progressions and understanding defenses a little bit more. But if he does, I think he can be a better quarterback next season. Jaden Mayava, I think he's better than Nico in certain situations. Nico couldn't handle the pressure. So at Tennessee, now he beat some big time schools, but when they come to going to Penn State, and how they lost, yeah, man. And I've seen Nico lose a few other games that they shouldn't have lost, and he just didn't look. He just didn't look the part. Like, he didn't look like $7 or $8 million or whatever they threw at him. He just didn't look it. He didn't look the part. Hopefully that Nico gets better next season and works on his progressions and be more accurate next year on his decision making. And hopefully that helps him. You know what I mean? But anyway, like I was saying before, I got Boise State in this game here. And anyway, man, I guess I'm going to check out and go watch the rest of the games and see how this turns out. You know, we never know how these games are going to turn out. Baylor is with 6:20 to go. It's 44-31 LSU. But hey, man, I love the fight that Baylor is giving. I really want to get on that guy who's from Locked On Baylor, but it's okay. I won't get on him. But I'm actually pulling for his team. I'm pulling for the Big 10 and Big 12 because, and even the ACC, man, I didn't like the bull crap that Mario Cristobal did to his team. I didn't like it, man. That's not showing you want to be a winning program. Go out like Shedeur Sanders did. He went out and played the whole game, knowing that, like he said, he could have went in the draft last year. He could have went. He stayed for his father. The boy been wanting to leave, right? Do I think Shadeur's ready for the NFL? It's just some of the decision making that he does, you know, because I don't think it was all his line. I just don't think that all them guys are just that sorry. They're not. I think Shedeur holds the ball a little long, but we'll see when he gets in the NFL, man, how he does. But I'm telling you, them NFL players, they not going to go for that okie doke stuff and trying to run around and do all of this stuff like that and just throw the ball backwards. They're not going to go for it, man. They will get you killed out there in the NFL, man. They will miss blocks on you just because they don't like you. In the NFL, that's what I'm saying. And just to watch the NFL do what they did the other day where the Giants won the game, and that's saying something, man. That's saying something. That's saying something. And now another team got a position to get first, second, and third. So I don't think Shedeur is going to be the number one pick in the draft. I don't think so. If he is, if he's the number one pick, then he's probably going to go to the Patriots or Tennessee. So it's not the team that he thought he was going to go to. So we just don't know. But we don't know behind the scenes. These NFL teams, they do things differently, man. And but I want to say this too. Shout out to BYU for handling business, bro. They dominated. They did their homework. Colorado did not do their homework, man. They didn't study. They was out, just being real, man. They was out going fishing and hunting and doing all that stuff and doing whatever they do, man. They came back and was not ready, and you can see it. I saw it in a well-off video. They was not hungry. They was ready to go on vacation, bro. I also want to say this too. Coach Prime said he never said national championship with this team. He still didn't say, "Oh, we're trying to get to a national championship." No. He said bowl game, bowl game, bowl game, bowl game. You got to hear that man's words, what he's saying. He said bowl game. He wanted to get to a bowl game. He never said national championship. Never. Also thought that he could have played more players on defense, like rotated more, even some of the Goldbergs and stuff. I think he could have rotated some of those guys to see. People wanted to see those players, man. Just wanted to see if they can cover. They can do this. Bentley's slow. He's good in coverage, but he's slow as far as the wheel routes. Last year he got ate up on wheel routes. This year, in several games, he got killed on wheel routes. His problem is wheel routes. And if Colorado don't fix the wheel route issue, they're going to have that same problem again next year. So that's That's all I'm saying about that. But anyway, yo, I just want to talk about that because the next game is Penn State and them is about to come up pretty soon, and I want to check this game out. So, all right, y'all. Hey, I'm always support Coach Prime, man. Don't think I'm hating on Coach Prime. I just speak real about it, and hopefully, with this next squad that he gets in this coming year, this team might be the team that gets him over that hump. I want to see Coach Prime win a bowl game. He has not won a bowl game. Now, people think that this team that he just had was his ceiling. Don't put that on that man. I'm not going to put that on Coach Prime because Caden Salters, man, I don't know if you've seen his highlights, but the young man is good. And he's only got 1 year eligibility left, right? 1 year as a quarterback. So he's already at Colorado. Not only that, you got Juju right behind him, just in case if Salters get hurt, because he's a mobile quarterback, but he's also accurate. He is also accurate. Just want to say that. He doesn't throw very many interceptions. And he's a mobile quarterback. He put up 2023, I think he threw for over 3,000 yards. Caden Salters. So people who think that Caden Salters is soft or he ain't going to be that dude, that's like saying Cam Ward wasn't that dude when he came from Incarnate Word and then he went to Washington. Then he went over to Miami. And then they found out how much of a dude he really is. I'm not taking nothing away from his talent. Cam Ward is that dude. I just didn't like that sucker shit that he pulled. And he should have helped his team win. I just felt that Iowa State, I don't know how they really feel as a fan base. They know they shouldn't have won that game. They weren't going to win that game if Cam Ward would have stayed in that game. They was not going to win that game. They knew it. Everybody knew it. They was not going to win that game. Iowa State was getting their ass handed to them. They was not going to win that game if Cam Ward would have stayed in that game. He was throwing all over them. Rocco Beck was not doing that. They didn't start really giving some really good gas until after they put the second string quarterback in. Oh, they were like, oh, shoot, we're going to win this. No, Miami gave you the win. They gave you it. You didn't win it. They gave you it. And then it's like, oh, well, hell, you can take the Pop-Tart Bowl trophy. We don't care about that. You just won a Pop-Tart Bowl. That's how he felt about it. He didn't care about it was a championship. People don't understand. These are still championships. Yeah, they might be lower level championships, but it's a championship. They're going to call this back. They're going to call it back. Baylor just scored a touchdown, but they're going to call it back. And I hate that stuff too for Baylor, because this was about to be a 38, 39 to 44 game right now if they would not call that back. But they look like they're about to call it back. But anyway, man, I'm going to go ahead and get off the horn here. Man, I just wanted to say that. And shout out to Coach Prime, because I got love for Coach Prime and Bucky and Shedeur Sanders, all of them, man. I've been supporting them since Jackson State and watching the videos when they were playing over at Trinity. So I'm just praying that, he has a good season next year, because the Wolves are going to come out next season. And if he does not win a bowl game or get to a bowl game next season, after they just had that debacle at this bowl game, they will they're gonna be calling for his head. So that's how I see it. Like you said, you either get elevated or terminated. So you got to stand by those words, man. Stand on business. Anyway, man, much love. Happy New Year's to everybody. Deuces.